let's talk about music.
What's on your mind?
Music. Okay, let's go.
We've had a lot of great albums this year. From you got Blue Lips from Schoolboy Q dropping his first album in a while. Kendrick Lamar dropping GNX. You got The Death of Slim Shady from Eminem. You
Mhm.
got Future dropping We Don't Trust You. Denzel Curry, JPEG. You got a lot of
Right.
rap albums this year. What's your my question? But we got a question of the day.
Mhm.
Oh, we do.
Question of the day.
And
What
it
is
is.
your favorite album of all time? And and I mean
Ooh.
favorite, not favorite album in terms of like, oh, I like the music elements. Like what's your favorite album and why does it have such a meaning to you?
Oh man,
Man.
you guys are hitting me with one.
I
There are too
can give
many.
you an album.
All right, what you got?
It's Goodbye and Good Riddance by Juice WRLD. His first
Mm.
studio album, and it was the one that hit me the hardest. Even today, I was going through a breakup back then and needed something to cope. And
Gotcha.
I got a notification saying, "Hey, Juice WRLD dropped some music." And this is when SoundCloud was like really the big streaming platform.
Mhm.
Spotify was like really in the shadows still.
Right.
I loaded up and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Song after song after song after song. Like I got a lot of those songs still stuck on my head to this day.
Oh man.
And that helped me get through that breakup, and
I'm
it shaped me to now. And by the way, R.I.P. Juice WRLD. You would be missed. He would have been 26 this month.
music has a way of soothing the soul or helping you in like times of need like that.
Yes.
For me, there's three that I always will go back to. First one is Kill 'Em All by Metallica, because I love Metallica. It's the first one that actually kind of got me into like heavy metal. Second is Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, their first album.
Yes.
And third, I'm gonna go with Indestructible by Disturbed, because originally
You really got that dad rock playlist.
I do because originally I was only gonna get it for like 2 songs, and that's the thing with a lot of Disturbed albums for me.
Yeah, I got. There's so many Disturbed albums. I love 10,000 Fists is an amazing.
10,000
album.
Fists is good too, but it's like I'm only gonna get it for like 1 song, get the CD for 1 song, but every single song I end up playing it from start to finish when I had a car, of course, like at least 12 different times a day.
You know, I feel
Is
like
that good?
there's really been a big disconnect with music because I was told back in the day by my father, he's like, dude, back in the day when you wouldn't know new music dropped until you went to the store and saw a new album.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I remember back in the day when hip hop record stores were the thing, and I mean, you wouldn't get a new track from a rap artist. It would be the people on the street that would get it first, and then like the record stores would get it, and you're like, oh man, Nas dropped the new track, Jay-Z dropped a new track. You wouldn't get that stuff till then.
And now everybody's so connected, but I also think this also helped. The internet also helps bring the music scene together because you got the ability of these artists to tease their next albums.
Right.
But I like what Kendrick Lamar did with his most recent album, GNX. He just dropped it. Mm-hmm. No teasers, no hints at an album. He just dropped it.
Yeah. Something just want the substance to come out. They just like, here, have it now.
And people said it brought them back to those days where you didn't know when an album would drop.
Right.
And I think, my top 3 albums of the year finally locked in.
Okay. Number 3?
We're actually going to make it a top 5.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5, we're going to do Beautifully Broken by Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolute cinema of an album. I never thought I would like country music, but 28 songs later, I was hooked.
Might be wrong to bring this in, but Jelly Roll did do like a nice little number for for the Thanksgiving game between Dallas and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
that.
I think number 4, I was going to give it to Eminem, but I think Eminem dropped out of the top 5 so quickly. And I'll tell you why. The Death of Slim Shady was an okay album. It was just basically a killing off a character, and he just kept rambling about, what are you gonna do? Cancel me? And it just kind of left the album with so much more to give.
Yeah.
And like so much more expected, and little less to give, more expected.
You question if Eminem is still as hungry as he used to be.
Yeah, that's
you question it.
It's a really big question. I really thought that with how I don't like country so much, I wasn't gonna like this. Post Malone's F1 Trillion actually takes a pretty good take on country, and the fact that he's diving deep into that genre and really going full circle, it's nice to watch.
It is.
So F1 Trillion goes to my 4. I never thought I'd have 2 country albums in my top 5, but hey, it is what it is. Country's making a comeback.
Yep.
Number 3. To a lot of people, this is too early, but to me, it's not. GNX by Kendrick Lamar. I have to put it in. Come on, like there's so much. People say that this just feels like a mixtape, but this is full of West Coast. This entire album screams West Coast.
Yeah, that's when it was good though. When it was more of a mixtape. It doesn't always have to be a theme. When it comes to albums.
I love every single name of every single song on this album because there's a West Coast reference in almost everything, like whacked out murals. And I learned what that term means through shout out Screwface Gene. I found out what that term means. It's basically like literally, it's basically drawing over somebody's art or their signs, their gang signs.
You cross them out.
You whack out their murals. And every single song was just West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. Even all the artists except one were all West Coast artists. The only one was SZA, who's from St. Louis. That's a fun fact for you. And another big fun fact, SZA's actually a big fan of the St. Louis Blues.
Oh.
Number 2. This one was tough to pick because you got I Laid Down My Life for You by JPEG Mafia. Recently, you got The Party Never Ends by Juice WRLD, his 3rd and final album to ever release, according to the Juice WRLD estate. His 3rd posthumous album, his 5th studio album, and his last ever album to release. Of course, we might get anniversary editions with a few extra songs that might be sitting in the folders. And then you got Chromacopia, Tyler. But I'm going to bring you to Metal for this one.
Okay.
I'm going to say You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To by Not to Lose takes number 2. A literal Grammy nominated album, the first metal band I think since Metallica to play on a late night show as Not to Lose performed Suffocate featuring Poppy on Saturday Night Live with Jimmy Kimmel. And finally, at number 1, again, I named a few albums, but this one, in my opinion, is just a cinema. I have to go just because of story and just because of the fact that this is the volume 2 of his original mixtape, which is from before even SoundCloud days. King of the Mischievous South, Volume 2 by Denzel Curry.
Oh,
This brings me like old hip hop to the new age. Denzel Curry's been doing that. And I think personally this takes the cake for album of the year. You can come at me. Of course, I praised Blue Lips a lot. Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips is amazing. I just think KOTMS Cotton's KOTMS is easily album of the year for me. But I'm curious. What's for a lot of people who may watch the show, have kept up with not even just rap but all music in general? What is your album of the year? Let us know in the